Okay, says we are now broadcasting. I'm just gonna make sure that it is working, hopefully. Cool, and we are also live. Perfect, and I can hear my voice perfectly. Alright, just waiting a little bit, folks. It's just obviously we're getting people into the lobby. I just wanted to start the stream early just because my first time commentating on Twitch for Race Spec, so yeah. I think we're supposed to have a full grid here tonight, which is obviously very good to see indeed. I haven't commentated the America Open series, well, not for a while, not since last season, but it wasn't really on a consistent basis. What are we missing though, by the way? We're missing an AlphaTauri, according to the list. Who would that AlphaTauri be? I think that would be Styled Harmony, though why not? Alright, it looks like he's just joined in as well. Do you have a full 20 car lobby? Yep, there we go. There he is. Alright, as soon as we get to, obviously to black, we'll start this introduction to this. Just waiting just a little bit. Hopefully we'll get going soon. Should give up the ready to go signal. Hopefully. Okay, apparently we're delayed by at least a couple more minutes, according to what Sparty said. Oh, maybe they were just waiting for me to give the signal. Yeah, no, I'm all good. I'm on the Twitch, Sparty, if he is listening to me. Alright, cool. So it looks like everyone is readying up, and we'll get on the road. I see, Rebel, I see. Alright, well, hello everyone, and welcome to round 5 of the America Open Series Championship here on Race Spec Esports. I'm K1997, your commentator for tonight's race, and this time we are racing at the Marina Bay Street Circuit for the Singapore Grand Prix, which was first introduced back in 2008, designed by track maker Herman Tilke. This 3-mile track has now been pretty much reduced in terms of its length and corners. It also is known to be the first ever night race to happen here in Formula One, which has led to a lot of drama and controversy over the course of its years. Of course, beforehand, with all the modifications that happened, they originally had the original Singapore Sling, which was a pretty much an interesting chicane bit, turns 11 and 10, 11, and 12. That caught a lot of drivers off guard. Of course, that got removed in 2013. And then just recently, as we can all see as well from the track map as well, that they got rid of the 9-degree area at the final sector that leads underneath the grandstand. Thanks to Codemasters now getting that all modified before the race at Singapore, of course, pretty much implementing the real-life track. So now it's gone from 23 corners down to 19 corners, but there's still 3 DRS zones, one that leads down the main straightaway into turn 1, and then the other one, the exit of turn 5 that leads into turn 7, and then the final one is at the exit of turn 13 at the Anderson Bridge leading into turn 14. The new straight is basically just a long straight that doesn't include any DRS. So if you're going to pass through that sort of area, you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Ideally, pretty much it's turn 1, turn 7, and turn 14, and possibly also with turn 16 and 17 now probably being the new area of overtaking as well as we kind of saw from Elite Series last night, Pacific Elite Series last night. But also another thing to keep in mind for the drivers, of course, this is a street circuit, so there are, of course, concrete walls lying at every single corner. There's going to be a lot of action and probably a lot of drama, and probably you're going to have to do a lot of concentrating, of course, with it being a street circuit. And not to mention also the threat of rain can be imminent, considering that Singapore, or Marina Bay more specifically, is near the equator. So yeah, that's something the drivers will have to keep in mind if there is some rain afloat. Now, before we go fully focused onto qualifying, there is a little bit of news to go through. First, from the previous race at Spa, there were 4 incidents that were reported, one of which was an incident involving Stubbs and Sharkey. Stubbs was given a 15-second time penalty and 3 license points. That does not demote him, though, from his position at P13. Another incident involving Taker Easy, 55 cents, and Nander. Nander was given a 5-second time penalty and 1 license point. Would not demote him at all, would let him stay in 5th place, even with the penalty. Another one is involving Taker Easy and 55 cent. That was reported as no further action. But there was another incident following that into the bus stop chicane. 55 cent was given a 5-second time penalty and a license point for that incident. So he was demoted down. Actually, he was demoted down from P6 to P7 in the final results screen. The final results. Sorry, I should say in the Belgian Grand Prix. I'll put up the driver standings real fast while I'm at it too. Right up. So, the Drivers' Championship looks like this. Blotman is leading the way on 93 points, followed by his teammate Rebel in second with 90 points. Then it's Little Mick in third with 81 points. And then it's Cole in fourth with 73 points. So, kind of a 4-way fight from what it's looked like in the Drivers' Championship. In fifth, there's Nanda with 56 points, followed by Chakowski, I think that's how you pronounce it, in sixth with 41 points. And it's Veritas in seventh with 39. Subfalime in 8th with 38. Tom in 9th with 28, along with Blackball in 10th with 26 points. In the Constructors' Championship, it's pretty much cruise control for Alpine, from what I'm seeing. Alpine are leading the way on 183 points, followed by McLaren with 114 points. Yes, it's quite a big margin between the top two. Alfa Romeo in third with 82 points, followed by Williams in fourth with 77. There's Mercedes in fifth with 37. Aston Martin with 27. Yeah, a lot of sevens in this. Jesus. Ferrari in seventh with 23 points, along with Haas. Then it's AlphaTauri in ninth with 12. And Red Bull Racing rounds it all up with 5 points. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, we can now fully focus to this qualifying session, as we got a couple of times on the board. Red Bull goes to the top there with a 1 minute 28.736. JM goes to second with a 1 minute 29.408, along with Old Mick in third with a 30.2, and Double A with a 31.2. Coral goes to third position with a 1 minute 29.600. That's now followed by Rebel's teammate Blotman. Unsurprisingly, these two have been the more dominant drivers in this series. Blotman occupying P2 with a 1 minute 28.855. Of course, also Blotman as well is in also the championship fight in the America Series Tier 1, along with myself and Axis in the three-way fights at the moment. But yes, also currently our championship leader in the America Open Series. Some more times coming on the board. Some new faces I haven't seen before. Of course, a few drivers I have seen before, like this man, Axis, who actually is in the Red Bull for this occasion. He's not in the AlphaTauri that I've seen him commonly in the America Series Tier 1. So we'll see how he fares out as well. He's got a car in front of him that is an AlphaTauri, coincidentally. That might be Stella Harmony, who is not really getting out of the way, but he is on a lap. But he's got the Red Bull behind. That's probably not going to be too pleasing for Axis, as they seem to be quite... Really? Oh, he runs into the back of him! And does a George Russell impression by slamming into the barrier there at the exit of the Singapore Sling. Turn 10 more specifically. Yeah, he just caught up and now he's got a broken front wing, so I have to get that fixed, unfortunately, there for Axis. But yeah, he just was stuck behind the AlphaTauri, and the AlphaTauri, he didn't need to move because he was on a lap, but I think, yeah, that was a bit quite interesting, I guess. Yeah, top two right now. Blotman, Rebel, all the only drivers right now in the 1 minute 28 range. Right now, as who was that just improved? I believe that was America Flat Bowler. They're doing a 1 minute 31.0. Now, because of the track being a little bit shortened, the times are supposed to be about, I think in reference to what it was before, like I'm saying game-wise, I think about 8 or 9 seconds quicker than what we were originally doing. So yeah, that's why the times look a bit different, of course. You used to be like somewhere, if I remember correctly, I gave them the 36s or something like that, or 35s. Now it's just like completely different. 55 Senna is on an outlap as we speak. There was a Haas there that just came across the line there, just I think to lap there. That I think was Motion God, I believe, did a 1 minute 32.9. 55 Senna is going to start his final lap. I'll tell you what, we'll run on board with him. Give you a proper tour of the racetrack here at Singapore. Down the main straightaway, opens the DRS, heading up towards the first corner as he reaches peak speed of 185 miles per hour. Fourth gear, uses the curb on the outside of turn 2, hugs the inside of turn 3, second gear at the exit of turn 3. And then heads up, ISO turn 2, and then into turn 3. Now into turn 4, the little kink, and then into turn 5. Opens the DRS, heads down Raffles Boulevard, through this little kink here, that is turn 6, into what will be the overtaking spot of turn 7. Hard on the brakes, down to third gear. Uses the inside curve just a little bit, doesn't bother using the outside curve. Gets through there very nicely done. Around turn 8, very cute little corner as well. Now around turn 9. A little bit of a wiggle there, a little bit of a snap of oversteer from the Aston Martin as he makes his way up towards now the former Singapore Sling. And now that's all gone. Around 11, then 12. Through the Anderson Bridge, which has been there for about over a century from what I've been told, I guess. And then around the hairpin of 13. And now down towards Esplanade Boulevard and then into turn 14, third gear. Bit of a tricky traction zone, and this is where you need to really get a good run here. Get a good run on the exit of that corner. and then get down this straight up towards the bus stop of turns 16, 17. Second gear, short shifts up to third, up the gears through 17, and then into the final couple of corners of turns 18 and 19. Crosses the line, will set a 1 minute 30.817. Does not do a Lance Stroll impression, at least, by crashing into the final corner. So there you go. So that's some 8th quickest overall. Let's see a Rebel. He is now on another flying lap, making his way through turns 1, 2, and 3. Back end slides out just a little bit there at the exit of turn 3. Didn't really cooperate a little bit as he makes his way around turn 5. Opens the DRS, heads up towards now the end of the first sector. The clock says for the Alpine. Oh, he's down by just about over 2.5 tenths. Doesn't look like it's a clean lap either, if I'm totally honest. I don't think he'll necessarily improve. JM also has a bit of a wiggle as well at the exit of turn 3. Let's see how he does here around turn 5. Opens DRS, heads down the Raffles Boulevard. There are yellow flags ahead. That is a McLaren there, I think, just trying to get out of the way. Jay's time is, he's up by 3/1000 of a second. Uses the outside curve, and again, another bit of wiggle as well from the Williams car. As they got more yellow flags, that's another McLaren, I believe, there at turn 14. That might be, I don't know if that might be either be Coral or Stubbly. They're both out on track. They're both an Alfa Romeo there. Rebel is down on his time, as we saw there, by 0.4 of a second. Coral, meanwhile, is making his way through turns 11 and 12. JM, meanwhile, coming up to the end of the middle sector, the clock says for him. He is up by 51 thousandths to the middle sector. What about Coral, though, behind him? He's up by, or down by 54 thousandths, but does he find time here? The answer is no. He actually lost a bit more time. He lost another 10th in that middle sector, as JVH goes to 5th with a 1 minute 30.056. Also, another thing I haven't mentioned yet, since this is an open series, pretty much it's unlike a Elite Series that I have commentated before, it's pretty much you can use whatever assist you want. It's not basically no assists like it is in Elite Series. JM does not improve on his time, as Coral is invalidated there. He is not going to improve whatsoever. Double A is backed out of his lap. Tom is up by just over 0.6 of a second as he makes his way up towards 16, 17, third gear, and then short shifts at the exit of 17. Around the final corner now, up towards the line. We'll set at 129.6. Goes 6th quickest overall. And I think Axis has jumped to the board as well with a 1 minute 29.018. Third quickest overall for the Red Bull driver. Stubbly, is he on a lap? I think he's pushing. He's got a car in front. That's a Red Bull. Gets out of the way. Doesn't provide too much. Oh, Stubbly hits the wall there at the exit of turn 9. And he's backed out of the lap. He's also got quite a bit of marbles as well on his tires as well. Marbles are quite a thing in this game, that is for sure. Accord, another driver I don't think I've ever seen before. Let's see how he is to the first sector. 27.5. That's not really the most ideal first sector, if I'm totally honest. Apparently he's purple, though, according to the minimap. Let's see, out of turn 8. Now heads up towards turn 9. There are yellow flags again. That seems to be, again, at turn 14, involving a Red Bull and a McLaren. That probably is Stubbly. Getting past there, I think that might be Axis, which, yeah, it is. So he's out of field, that explains a little bit. Accord, meanwhile, makes his way around the hairpin of 13. Down towards now the second DRS straight. Down Esplanade Boulevard. And it's a 106.5 to the middle sector, according to the timing screen. As we got more yellows, of course, that's for Axis. As he makes his way down towards 16 and 17, the final chicane, the final 90-degree corners, I should say. And now we'll head into the final couple of corners of turns 18 and 19. DRS open, cross the line. We'll set a 132.250. Two drivers have yet to set lap times. That's being the two AlphaTauris of Sparty and Styled Harmony. Lap ball, I think, is on another flying lap. It looks like Is he? No, he's not really on a legit lap, so not exactly. And I think that is Double A. He'll be coming out as well to get ready for what will be, what could be the final lap shortly, because we do have less than 4 minutes to go. And remember, even though this track is a bit shortened, not by much, of course, by just like a 0.1 of a mile, the out-lap and in-lap is still a little bit long. So yeah, you gotta be sure you manage the timing correctly. That was one thing I remember was a big thing with the old configuration, the timing of it, because of how long the out-laps and in-laps are. And the reason they're so long is just because you got so many technical sections of track around this place. And there's not really areas to cut through or whatever. So maybe one area, and that would probably be like at least turns 11 and 12. Let's see here, Motion God. He's got an Alpha in front of him. Hopefully he'll get out of the way or just don't impede him. Oh, as he hits the wall and hits it twice actually at the exit of that corner. He'll cross the line to set a 1 minute 32.4, improves by over 4.5 tenths, but is in 17th position. Harmony hasn't validated his lap time, so he will not set a legit lap there. Take her easy. I think he's doing a preparation lap for what it seems, as Sparty also did a 35.3. That must have happened just a little while ago. Roden is on a flying lap as he makes his way through turns 1, 2, and 3. There's the Alpines there. Oh, a Blockman, and there was a Williams in front of him as well. I believe of Subphaline or JM. Bit of traffic though to negotiate for Roden. Hopefully it won't distract him too much. Roden making his way to the end of the first set. The clock says he's up by nearly 0.3 of a second. Aston Martin in front. Hopefully he gets out of the way. Thankfully he does. Might have been Tom, I believe, trying to get out of the way. Or was it 55 cents? It was 55 cents. That was getting out of the way. Yeah, look at all these Gallo cars though in that first sector. Quite a bit of traffic. Yeah, of course everyone trying to get some temperature into the tires, of course. But you don't want to stay too close to one another. 5-place grid penalties is a pretty big thing I've seen in this game whenever people do this, especially in the esport category. Running up by over 6 tenths now to the middle sector as he makes his way around turn 14. As I believe Lil Mick has just improved there to a 1 minute 29.7. Improves to 7th position for the Alfa Romeo. Roden making his way out of the exit of 17. Up towards now the final 2 corners. Okay, get that right out of my mouth. Crosses the line will set a 1 minute 30.5. Improves to 12th position. Yep, a few other cars out and about getting ready as we speak. Rebel as well, Blockman, Axis. Axis is now on a flying lap, but again, he's behind an AlphaTauri. And is that the same one, or is that a different? No, it's the same one. Axis is literally right behind, and now Style Harmony gets out of the way. Thankfully, he does. But again, he catches up right up to the same AlphaTauri as he did about over 10 minutes ago. Well, let's see what Axis first sector says. Clock says he's down by 1/10 of a second. Yeah, he must have been really distracted by him, I think. Blockman, though, making his way through turns 1, 2, and 3 as well. Same with Rebel just behind. Alpine locking up the front row at the moment. JM is up by 91 thousandths to the first sector. Blockman is making his way up towards now the end of the first sector. What will the clock say for him? The clock says he's up by just over a 1/10.5 to the first sector. Rebel though, he's got traffic though, and he's got an AlphaTauri alongside him. What is he doing? Oh, that's completely destroyed his lap. Who was that? That was Sparty there. What was he doing? Completely just did not even see him or something. That's quite poor if I'm totally honest. Axis, though, is up by nearly 50 thousandths. Low Mick is retired from the session in the pit lane. So that might be Rebel's qualifying done. That was quite poor, if I'm, not mistaken, as Blockman is up by just over 0.4 of a second. With that sort of improvement, he can definitely take pole position away from his teammate. Axis, though, does not improve on his lap. Stays third, quickest overall. What about JM? He's up by over a 10th. Crosses the line, will go only 5th position, as Coral now beats him there with a 1 minute 29.3. Blockman up to the line will set a 1 minute 28.427. Improved by just over 0.4 of a second. Rebel goes back into pit lane. And Double A, is he improving? Not quite. Sub for Lime, not really improving. Actually, he's invalidated his lap time. I think that was also Stubbly that just came across the line. Yep, 1 minute 29.4 for the McLaren. Yeah, I don't know what Sparty was doing there, but I would imagine that Rebel is not happy at all. He probably thinks that he probably had a little bit more in that lap than what he originally had. But yeah, he just like drew alongside him, just completely ignored him. Did not even bother getting out of the way. I don't know if he was on a lap or not, but yeah, that honestly was one of the weirdest incidents I've seen. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I guess, but I know if it was me, I'd be pretty pissed about it, but that's whatever. But yeah, unsurprisingly, what we've seen in some cases, Alpine 1-2, occupied by Blockman and Rebel. Yeah, no, I know, I saw that, Rebel. Yeah, Blockman, 128.4, 0.3 ahead of his teammate. Axis will start in third position along with Carl, JM, Stubbly, JBH, Tom, AA, Subfaline, Black Bull, Rodent, Take Her Easy, 55 Cents, Professor Phil, Motion God, Star Harmony, and Sparry. So an Alpine 1-2 and a AlphaTauri 1920. Yeah, I don't know. It was just a bit of a weird incident, of course, just to see that, Rebel. But, yeah, it's alright, doesn't matter anyway. And you got the front row locked up, so you should be okay. Yeah, Blockman improving by just about 0.4 of a second to his final run. That was a very solid lap there from Blockman. As we'll get into now the main race. No formation lap, and do I see wet weather tires in that Red Bull garage? Oh, there you go. Now it's changed to the mediums. Originally, I saw the I saw the wets, the blue stripes. Oh yeah, I think if I remember, yeah, in the exit of 7, yeah, on the right hand side, yeah. I was more focused on what happened with you and Sparty. Alright. So yeah, as this track is known for, it's probably going to be a one-stop strategy. Either medium hard or hard medium. Well, we'll see what the driver's up to use. I'm probably going to guess Axis is going to go to, well, judging by what the tires are in the garage, I'm going to guess he's going to start on the hard tire. Which isn't the worst thing to do. I mean, of course, what you have to do in that sort of situation is that obviously you want to light a car towards the end with the grippier tires, but you also got to keep up with the cars that are ahead of you, especially more of the front runners, because if you don't, well, you're in a bit of trouble. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what everyone does here. Yeah, also looking at the table as well. Pretty much the majority of the victories have been Alpines. Yeah, Blockman's got 2 victories, Rebel's got 2 victories, and the only non-Alpine to win a race was Coral back in Austria. Rebel has won Zandvoort and Spa. Blockman won Bahrain and... Oh, actually, no. Sorry. Rebel won the sprint race at Spa. Blockman won Bahrain, got fastest lap, and also won the main race at Spa. But yeah, he's finished in P2 at the Netherlands and the sprint race at Spa. Yeah, quite interesting. Rebel seems to do, judging by this, yeah, Rebel seems to do a lot better in this series compared to what he's doing in the America Series 2-1. But anyway, here we go. 5 red lights for round 5 here at Singapore, and we are underway for the Singapore Grand Prix. A little bit of a wheel spin from Blockman. Rebel takes the lead into turn 1, overshoots it a little bit as well. Car spinning in the background there. That's a McLaren of Coral. He got involved in some sort of incident. Rebel, though, with a really good start. He's up into the lead already and up by nearly 0.8 of a second as they make their way up towards turn 5 and down Raffles Boulevard for the first time in racing conditions. Side-by-side action, JM and JBH up towards turn 7. Williams is on the inside. Has to give up, though, the position to the Mercedes as they make their way around turn 7. Another side-by-side action as well between Double A and Black Ball as they make contact at turn 8. A little bit of wheel banging there, but Black Ball gets in front. He's up to 9th position. Rodden dropping down a few spots there. Two Ferraris of Take Her Easy and Professor Phil making their way up towards the Singapore Sling. Thanks Berovitz stays behind. What a start there by Rebel, and already he's got a 1.5 second lead to his teammate. As Tom is, oh dear, he's had a little bit of an incident. He's dropped 2 spots there at turn. Oh, that explains a little bit too. He's got front wing damage. Oh dear, not a very good start there for the Aston Martin driver who needs to keep out of the barrier and also keep obliged to traffic. Do not want to get involved in anything. Oh, that is so close between himself and Take Her Easy. Gets through there, thankfully. Yeah, I have to go in the pits and get that front wing fixed. See what everyone's on in terms of tires. That does explain a little bit what's up with Rebel's situation. Double A's lost 2 positions as he goes extremely wide there at the exit of turn 18. But no, Rebel is on the medium compound tires. Blockman is on the hards along with Axis. So yeah, Rebel going for a different strategy compared to his teammate. Tom is in the pit lane, and same with Coral for damage. It seems, I guess Coral must have suffered damage on the first lap at turn 2. Meanwhile, though, Axis right behind Blockman, making the way to turn 7. Little mixed into the inside of turn 7. Pushes Stubbly a little bit off the track. Stubbly, though, breaks lane and blocks up, but he pulls the car. Oh, and a bit of contact. But Lil Mick gets the better drive, and he gets through, up to 6th position. Yeah, surprised it didn't come off worse, for him at least. So yeah, that explains quite a bit in terms of what Rebel is doing. Yeah, pulling a bit of a gap to his teammate. Is on the hard tire. Axis has a bit of a moment at the exit of the hairpin. He's got JVH all over his rear trumpet as they make their way up towards turn 14. Yeah, what Rebel needs to do really is pull away from the hard runners as best as he can so that he can get A, a massive undercut, and B, yeah, just get a good position before, get a good gap before the tires start to fall off. Tire day can be quite a thing around Singapore. Rebel does set the fastest lap of the race with a 132.8. This DRS is now enabled. Hello there, Red Pelly. Yeah, good to see you in the chat. Alright. Meanwhile, though, Axis will have DRS on the Alpine. He'll have the rear wing open, and same with JBH and JM, who are also in this quartet of cars as they make their way up towards now turn 7. Of course, Axis not close enough to attack the Alpine just in front of him. Subfalai, meanwhile, overtakes 55 Cent into turn 7. Gets in front of him. But yeah, apart from a couple of incidents, it's pretty much a tameable start to the race. Yeah, not too bad at all. It's been very tameable Everyone's got through relatively okay, apart from, well, obviously Tom and Coral. They'll need a safety car to get them back into this race. Which, obviously, is not the thing that can be far away. Of course, with this track being a street circuit, there can be chances of a safety car at any sort of point in time. 3 seconds right now, nearly 3 seconds between Rebel and Blockman. Axis still behind the Alpine as well. It's 7/10 behind. JBH still keeping up to his fair credit. JM still there as well in this little quartet. They make their way down the main straightaway. Again, DRS open for the 3 cars behind the Alpine. Not close enough, obviously, to do anything. Axis just needs a good rhythm through some of these corners. Oh, but not like that. Not that wheel spin, though, at the exit of turn 3. That will definitely cost them a bit. Well, he close up here a little bit here, down the Raffles Boulevard. He'll close up by just about a 10th. Or a 10th and a half, actually. Yeah, just because of that little rhythm there. Just didn't really have the run to get close. JBH also, meanwhile, making a little bit of errors at the exit of turn 7. Went a bit wide there from JM. I thought he was going to hit the barrier there. JBH is also losing a little bit of touch to Axis as they make their way through the Singapore sling. He needs to keep within touching distance, JBH. He does not want to lose Axis. That is very, very critical for his race. But he's still within the DRS touch. There's little Mick not too far away, but he's about, he's a little bit further away actually. He's about 2.8 seconds. He's also got Stubley behind him as well, so there's a little bit of a battle buddy for Stubley. Or for a little Mick. Well, Middle Mick and Stubley are pretty much battle buddies at this point. I don't think I had the right way of going what I was trying to go with. But anyway, Axis though, 3/10 the margin. Opens DRS, heads down towards turn 1. Will he be close enough to attack? The answer is no. Through turn 1, turn 2. Then into turn 3. Oh, and a bit of a rear lockup from Blockman. You can see how the rear axle just did not really want to cooperate there at the apex of turn 3. As Axis will get DRS. He does have battery as well to play with. And I can say the same for Blockman. They both do have at least the same amount of battery life. How about Rebel? He's got over half of it. I'll just give you the telemetry just to give you a better indication. 60% you just saw for Blockman, 87% for Axis, and 52% for Rebel. So he's not doing too bad, actually, in the battery department. A Take Her Easy and 55 cents side by side through turn 9. Contact! Oh, between the Aston Martin and the Ferraris that make their way through turn 9. 55 cent does get through, but a bit with the elbows out. Yellows. Axis is spun at the exit of turn 13. Or at the entry to turn 13, I think. Did he get rear-ended by JM or JBH? He must have got rear-ended by JBH, I think. Dear, oh dear. Blockman's also down to 4th as well. He's lost some time. So there definitely was an incident at turn 13. As he also gets a bit of contact from Lil Mick. JBH is now in 2nd and JM is in 3rd. What on earth happened between those two? And now Style Harmony is spun. So now we got a bit of incidents happening here. There must have been contact or something. There's no way that those two just like had an unless those two definitely had an incident at turn 13. Axis does come in for a new front wing. So he must have ran into the back of Blockman, I'm guessing. And then Blockman also got the worst of it as well. Oh dear, well, that's really unfortunate for Axis. Yeah, he'll now need a safety car to get him back into this race. Blockman, though, got away with it, at least for his sake. He doesn't have any damage from what I can tell on his car, but he definitely will not be pleased with what happened between himself and Axis. At least that's what I think happened. I know I didn't catch it, unfortunately, but that's at least my rough idea in terms of what exactly happened. Alright, now JM is on the back of JBH, so this opens the gap a bit more for Rebel. It's now 5.7 seconds between those two, between Rebel and JBH. Yeah, Blockman's about 2.9 seconds. There he is in the background, you just see there. There's also Lil Mick and Stubbly. They're not too far away from them either. Making their way around turn 18 and 19. Around the final 2 turns. On to lap 7 of 31. Still got a bit of ways to go. JM has DRS, but he isn't close to attack the Mercedes into turn 1. He'll see if he can try to light up a move at turn 5, leading up to turn 7. Turn 5, bit of a wiggle from JBH, but he gets the traction. Very nice traction as well. JM doesn't close up enough. Star Harmony, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings for the AlphaTauri driver. Double A also gets a penalty as well. Take her easy. Try to battle again with the Aston Martin 55 Cent into turn 7. He now gets by and now into... Oh, that was close for 9th position, but they're still side-by-side contact again. These two are really having their elbows out here at Singapore. Gee whiz. Yeah, got pockets and pockets of battles from what I can see. Blockman also has managed to pull away from Lil Mick, as you can see on the timing screen. But he hasn't pulled away from Stubbly as he goes down the inside of turn 14. He now gets through up into 5th position ahead of the Alfa Romeo. Alright, well, what about these two? What about 55 Cent and Take Her Easy? You can see as well, Take Her Easy is even on fuel. You see why how I can tell you that is because he's got the yellow fuel icon. He's gonna have to be extremely careful at the end of this race and not run out. Not close enough though for Subfaline to attack Black Ball into turn 1. JM still on the back of JBH. I can see in the mini-map not close enough to attack. Lil Mick, can he find a move here on the McLaren? The answer is no. He is not close enough. I think Subfaline, though, will go for the move here at turn 7. Down the inside. Easy as you like, but overshoots the turn. Still gets through. He's up into 7th place. 7.4 seconds. The gap is still increasing between Rebel and JBH. Yeah, even though Rebel's got the medium tires on for quite some time, knowing the pace difference, I don't think JBH will be able to close up on Rebel. Lawman, though, is 2 seconds. Yellow's 55 Cent is out. He's crashed out. And we've got a safety car. He's crashed out at the exit of the Anderson Bridge. That has brought out our first safety car of the race. As Rebel now will go into pit lane, take advantage of this opportunity to go off the mediums and onto a set of hards. This is the perfect window for anyone that's on the medium compound tire to get them off now and go onto the hards. Lil Mick in as well. JM is in. 55 Cent left the session. Don't blame him. Unfortunate for 55 cents. Except for Lime also in. Black Ball is going to gamble and go in immediately. As we saw from Elite Series last night, when the safety car did come out early, we did see drivers going from the majority of them were on the hards, and then they pitted early under the safety car because obviously to get the tire compound out of the way, the 2 tire requirement out of the way. But yeah, this is gonna put them in a bit of a pickle for anyone that's on the hard, starting on the hard tires. JBH now takes the lead of the race. Blockman's now in 2nd and Stubbly is in 3rd. Rebel's now behind them in 4th on a fresh set of hard compound tires. JM is the same story. Professor Phil stayed out for another lap. Of course, he started on the hards as well. Lil Mick is on the hards. Fresh set of hards. Motion God stayed out. Black Ball, as we saw, is on the fresh set of medium. Subfly on the fresh set of hards. Axis is on the medium tire. I think if I were him, I would have gone to the hards, actually. In this sort of situation. Well, actually, Yeah, that's right, I forgot. He did start on that tire, didn't he? Yeah, that's a bit of an interesting situation. Double A's on a new set of memes. Take it easy, same story. Accord, mediums. New hards, Rodent, Sparty. Tom is on the hards. Of course, he pitted for that after lap 1. Coral's on the mediums on a new set of medium compound tires. Style and Harmony on the soft tire. That's a bit interesting. You can see as well. A lot of rubber being laid out at turn 16 from anyone that doesn't use ABS. Wait, hang on a minute. Was that JM trying to go in? I thought for a minute. He was drifted to the left. He's still on the left side of the track. For whatever reason. I thought for a second he was going to go into pit line. And then he decided, nah, I'm not coming in. I mean, well, why do you need to come in? You're on a fresh set of hards anyway. You can carry these to the end. What he really needs to do is battle Rebel. That's really his target. But yeah, at this point, it's definitely looking like Rebel's race to lose. He's in a very good situation. Or race to lose, race to win. I don't know what the saying would be. Yeah, I know, for Style Harmony, he's on the soft tire. But of course, that tire, from this distance, you're not making it to the end. Right. Yeah, kind of interesting how JM just doesn't really fall behind the queue. He just stays on an outside line. Doesn't really bother doing, like, you know, following a queue, and a single file queue. Ooh, that was desync if I've ever seen one. Or maybe a screen freeze from Professor Phil at JM. I think that might have been a screen freeze. Yeah, from what I've noticed, for anyone that's on the PS4 or Xbox One, if you're playing on F1 23 on Crossplay, it is a major problem because it's just mainly because of the screen freezes. Actually, there was a case evident last night in Elite Series when I was watching a battle between Jack Humphreys and Ferrari Pro. Ferrari Pro, I know, is on PlayStation 4, and Humphreys was racing on PC, and like Ferrari Pro just like went backwards, like teleported right behind the Humphreys at one point, but that was due to a screen freeze. It's very weird. Yeah, I mean the Ferrari's one's doing alright, but he has yet to pit, but the other one is down in 12th. He's not in a very good position though, take it easy, well neither is Professor Phil, considering he hasn't pitted yet. Funny enough, I also am a part of Ferrari in the America Series Tier 1. And, yeah, a little fun fact, it's not really... It's actually, I think this is the first time since Season 3, I think, was like the last time I drove a non-Mercedes power car, because I always go in Mercedes power cars anytime I'm here in Race Spec. Yeah, because my past history has been Season 2, Williams, Season 3, AlphaTauri, Season 4, Racing Point, Season 5, Aston Martin, Season 6, Mercedes, Season 7, McLaren, Season 8, Mercedes again, and now this season I'm in the Ferrari. I've actually enjoyed driving the Ferrari, if I'm totally honest. I actually like that car. It's different, of course, and also, yeah, it's just... it's always nice to drive for the Scarlet Red team. If only they would do better in real life. But hey, they did really good this weekend. And besides, they actually got their first win of the season thanks to Carlos Sainz. He drove a very superb race. That's Singapore. Yeah, he came up with the win. Second was his good broman's buddy, Lando Norris, and then third was Lewis Hamilton. I mean, well, the thing was Lewis was stuck behind George Russell, who was struggling towards the end of the race when they put it onto new mediums, when they were trying to catch the cars in front of them. Alright, so safety car back in, of course. JBH will lead the green flag running. As we'll get through the final two turns. We're back under green flag conditions here at Singapore. JBH leads the way. Blockman in second, along with Studley in third. That's Rebel. And then JM is Professor Phil Blackball overtaking Motion God at turn 1 for 8th position. Professor Phil in 7th. Oh, sideways moment there from Subfalime. Gee whiz, that was quite sideways. That was a bit interesting there out of turn 3. Rebel now overtakes Stubbly there at turn 6 as the yellow flies at the back. That's for Subfalime. That is at an incident at turn 5. Alright, now Rebel is behind his teammate. What does Blockman do in this situation? Since he's got his teammate behind, does he let him through? Oh, hello. Motion gone and Axis side by side. Oh, yeah, the Rebel has to give in. Blockman gives way to his teammate. Maybe a bit too much as he also compromised by JM. Virtual safety car has been deployed. Now, what is this for? I'm gonna look and see if anyone's got any damage. Nothing on Motion God. Nothing on Axis, I don't think. Accord. Can I see, like, the front wings? Accord looks okay. Rodin looks okay. Tom, I don't know. No, he's okay. Coral's okay. Star Harmony's okay. Subflime is the reason why. Star Harmony has crashed out at turn 14. Headbutts the wall. Headbutts the tire barrier there. He is out of the race. He's become our second retirement of the race. Now we're back into green. Rebel bring pressure to JBH as they make their way up to turn 1. Through turn 2, turn 3. Rebel right behind the Mercedes-Benz. Gets a really good exit out of turn 3. JBH trying to defend the best he can. I don't think he can for much longer because now here comes the Alpine alongside the Mercedes. And he's going to the outside. Does JBH to fight this off? The answer is no. JM, though, trying to go alongside the Mercedes-Benz into turn 8. That's close. Oh, bit of a snap. Big snap there from the Mercedes. Now the top two go through. It's now Rebel back into the lead. JM in second. JBH now back down to third position. Blockman, though, right behind the Mercedes-Benz. Stubbly, though, has dropped it back a little bit to those pair of cars in front of him who have yet to pit. So right now he is under pressure from Lil Mick as they make their way around turn 13. Gets really good traction and a good run as well. Down the inside, locking up a bit, but gets through. Nicely done. Take her easy. Axis. They were side by side through 14. Axis couldn't get that move done. The Ferraris are side by side as they now go through there. Take her easy. Gets through ahead of his teammates. Now Axis will try to fight against the other Ferrari into turn 18. Now they're side by side. 8 through 19. Gee whiz, that's close. There's the other Red Bull as well of Double A. Right behind the two Red Bulls are side by side. Heading through turn 1. Double A stays behind his teammate. Axis stays in front of him. As now DRS is enabled. JM has caught up to Rebel, so he will have DRS down towards Raffles Boulevard. He won't be close enough to attack, as we can see on the timing screen. Meanwhile, though, up in front of him, Black Bulla overtakes Stubbly there for 6th position. He's on the fresh set of medium tires. He needs to push quickly, but he also needs to be careful how his tires are going to be at the end of the race. I don't think those tires will make it. Meanwhile, though, JBH under pressure from Lil Mick as they make their way to the Singapore sling. Out of turn 11, clobbers the curve there, JBH. Through the Anderson Bridge. Oh! Jeez! Good catch there from Lil Mick. I thought he was going to hit the right side wall. Great catch. Does not put the car into the barriers. Make the way up to turn 14. That was quite scary. Alright, sure, Pele. Take her easy. Now overtakes Stubbly for 7th position. Accord also overtakes Professor Phil down the inside, locks up, overshoots the corner a little bit. Oh, that's a bit tight. Does the Ferrari have enough momentum? The answer is no, but not quite close enough. Peel up in the DRS, heading down towards the main straightaway. Axis overtakes Stubbly at turn 1, so he's now up into 8th position. Axis though is going to have to pit very shortly as well because, yeah, no, those tires are not making it. They are not making it. He'll need another safety car to get him back into this race. Double A and Stubbly side by side. Double A overtakes the McLaren into P9. Coral now also overtakes the Ferrari Professor Phil. That is also at turn 7 that he's just done that at. Lil Mick, though, really stuck behind these two cars in front. He needs to get by these pair quickly. He's losing a hell of a lot of time to JM and Rebel. Making the way down the Esplanade Drive. Up towards now turn 14. Oh, did he hit the wall? It looked like he did. I think he got away with it. He's got a good run. He's got a lot of batteries to use. Down towards 16, JBH cannot fight this off. He does not have the grip, nor does he have the battery. Lil Mick now moves through into 4th. Next target for him will be Blockman in 3rd place. Out of the final corner, back onto the main straightaway. As Tom now overtakes Roden. That was at turn 16 that he must have done that at. Oh, bit of a moment there, I think, there from Lil Mick, from what it looked like. Turn 5, he needs to get by that Alpine quickly. Opens the DRS. He's got the championship leader in his sights as he makes his way up towards now turn 7. Tom overtakes Professor Phil. That must have happened at turn 5. Coral now also overtakes Accord as well for 11th place. Roden overtakes Professor Phil. Remember as well, top 15 do score points here in Race Spec. Alright. Through 11 and 12. Lil Mick trying to close up on Blockman. He needs to get by him quickly. The only thing he's going to be in is, well, if there is no further safety cars, he's probably going to be in no man's land. Because literally, the gap right now between JM and Blockman is 8.3 seconds. It's literally just a top 2 scrap between Rebel and JM at this point. Alright, here it comes. Up towards 16, 17. Not close enough. See all that black rubber there laid up thanks to the no ABS users. They make their way up towards now turns 18 and 19. Back on the main straightaway. Up towards now turn 1. The answer for Lil Mick to get by Blockman is a definitive no. He stays behind through turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3. And again, another rear locking for Blockman. I definitely saw the rear left tire lock up as he makes his way through turn 5. He will have the DRS, Lil Mick will. Opens the DRS, heads up towards now turn 7. He's not using battery though, in fairness to him, I guess. I guess he just knows the situation. He's like, yeah, I think I'll cope with what I'm doing. Yeah, because right now he's in a very good spot. JM, though, is losing touch to Rebel. He's out of battery, and Rebel has got plenty of it. He's got 41%. JM's got 5%. Yeah, Blockman under still a little bit of pressure. Stubbly, 3-second penalty, multiple warnings. The second driver to get the penalty alone with Double A. As they make their way up towards 14. Alpha not close enough. Can he get a good run, though, out of the exit of turn 14? The answer is no. Blockman just has... It seems like Blockman's got a bit more straight line speed compared to the Alfa Romeo. You just saw how much he pulled away a little bit there. Alright, out of turns. Yellow flags. Yellows, what's that for? There's a virtual safety car, and that's because of motion guard that has spun at turn 8. No front wing on the Haas. You have to get that front wing fixed. Bit of poor timing for anyone that hasn't pitted yet either. 3 drivers into the pits. Coral, Stubbly, and Accord. And also Tom as well. Medium tires at the go. Coral's onto a set of hard compound tires. Accord, Stubbly, Tom on the mediums. Gotta be careful, the Delta. You do not want to get a drive-through penalty, especially around this place, where the pit lane speed is 37 miles per hour, or 60 kilometers per hour. It's quite a long pit lane. It will cost you a lot of time if you do not be careful. It's green flag back in action here at Singapore. The DRS is now back to being enabled again. And a bit of a lockup as well from Lil Mick. Gets a poor run out of the Anderson Bridge. Blondman, a little bit of the same story. Rebels got a 1.6 second lead to JM. Out of turn 14. And back on to 16 and 17 comes Lil Mick and Blockman. Meanwhile, though, there are a couple of cars behind. Black Ball is closing in on his teammate, who is still on those old hard compound tires. He's got also a horde of cars behind him as well, the forms of Take Her Easy and Axis. Stubbly overtakes Accord there for 12th position. Yellow flags are out at sector 3. That is for motion guard, I believe. Axis down the inside. Oh, contact between the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Does not get through there at turn 3. That's a bit difficult to do. Carl now overtakes Roden. More yellow flags. Sparty's out. He's crashed out of the Anderson Bridge. And we have another safety car. The second safety car has come out, as the AlphaTauri of Sparty has crashed out at turn 13, leading to turn 13 at the Anderson Bridge. So now Blockman is pretty much saved at this point. He can now get into the pits, get onto a set of meets, but what does everyone else do? I have a feeling Rebel's gonna pit. You can go to the end from here if you get onto a new set of mediums. It is possible. Yeah, because I think by that time you'll do about 11 or 12 laps. Black Ball and JBH exchanging places for some reason. Does Rebel come in? The answer is yes. He is coming into the pits. JM, does he follow? Yes, he does. Blobman, obviously he's going to. He has to at this point. What about Lil Mick? Does he follow in? Does he go into the pits or does he stay out? He comes into the pits. That is a wise thing to do. Black Baller. He's coming in. So will be... there won't be a double stack here for Alpine. They'll be fine. JM, new set of medium tires. Blockman 2, we'll get onto a set of mediums. Lil Mick, medium tires. Black Baller is in. Oh, it's going to be a double stack for the Mercedes-Benz. That's not going to be good for JBH's race. Take it easy. He's onto the soft compound tire. Interesting call that. Lil Mick is on the softs as well. Axe is onto a new set of mediums. JBH on a set of mediums. Double A had to get a new front wing changed. And he's onto a set of medium tires. Coral has elected to stay out, same with Stubbly and also Accord. So that means Double A is going to be right behind those 3 cars. Or 2 cars, sorry. Yeah, because he's just coming out of the pits. JBH, a 5-second penalty for a collision with Coral. What's happened between these two? Has he got damage from that? No, he's fine. But he does have a 5-second penalty. Ouch. I don't know though about Lil Mick's call. I mean, I get that you want to be aggressive, but those softs are not going to make it from here. I'm just going to tell you that. But yeah, thanks to that safety car though, that pretty much has saved Blockman's race. In fact, it also saved Black Bowler's race as well, because he was one of the drivers that had to pit again for a new set of tires. Same with Axis as well, down in 7th position. And JBH, and Stubbly. But unfortunately for JBH, he had to double stack behind his teammate. So he was a bit screwed on that front. Right, so yeah, we'll be out and about for a little bit here with the safety car for about a couple of laps. I reckon by lap 22 is when we'll get going again. You know, he's got like 4 cars that have still yet to catch up. That being Professor Phil, Subfalime, and the 2 Haas's of Rodin and Motion God. Yeah, we started from 20 cars, we're now down to 17 cars. Yeah, no points for AlphaTauri, as both of them are out of the race. 55 Cent crashed out in the early portion of the race, crashing, I believe, on lap 7 or 8, I think it was. Yeah, now we got a second safety car thanks to Sparty crashing out at the Anderson Bridge. Yeah, as it stands though, Rebel though will take the championship lead if the results stand as it is. Scott though his teammate behind. It's, remember, 3 points separating these 2 Alpines between Rebel and Blockman. Lil Mick though obviously is in this fight as well. He is only 12 points behind our current championship leader. He's on the soft tire though. I'm very curious to see how he's going to fare out. Same with Take Her Easy. I know Lil Mick though is going to be extremely aggressive by the time we get going again. But those tires are going to fade. I think we're going to go for another lap. I said lap 22 we would get going. Instead we'll probably get going on lap 23. Unless we get a late call, I hope that does not happen. I do see the Haas's. Oh, well, there you go. Safety car is in this lap. That is a bit of a late call, if I'm totally honest. Not a, well, the Haas's didn't really catch up. Not all of them did, but still, it's in nonetheless. Alright then, Rebel will lead the field this time. And we'll get back under green flag conditions very shortly. Out of the final 2 corners, back onto the main straightaway. We're back under green flag conditions again here at Singapore. Lap 22 of 31. There's a little bit of hard defending as well from Stubbly, or was that, no, that was Coral, I'm sorry. The other McLaren that was trying to defend from JBH as they make their way through turns 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, keep your eyes on the soft runners of Lil Mick and Take Her Easy. Maybe they might do something here. Top 4, meanwhile, are close to one another. Double A overtakes Accord there for 11th position. It seems like also Black Bull has lost a bit of touch. Axis overtakes Take Her Easy at turn 6, or turn 7, sorry, for P6, I should have said. Now his next target will be Black Balla in P5. Meanwhile though, top 4 still close, separated by just a second, over a second separated between the top 4. Making their way through turns 11, 12, through the Anderson Bridge, and now into turn 13. Back onto Esplanade Boulevard, up towards now turn 14. No DRS, that'll be enabled, of course, in a couple of laps from now. Axis now overtakes Black Ball. Black Ball doesn't really fight that. He just lets him through. He's now up into 5th. Now he needs to try and catch up to that top 4. He's only got 1.7 seconds to try and catch up. JBH, Coral, side by side through 16 and 17. That is a bit of a hard barge battle there between the Mercedes and the McLaren. Both McLarens get through. Now the McLarens are side by side, heading through turns 18 and 19. And a bit of contact as well between Double A and Coral. Stubbly got through, but Double A also gets past Coral. Gee whiz, that was really close between those 2 cars. 3 cars, I should say. Alright, 1.1 seconds. The gap is shrinking. And now will become probably a 5-car fight for the race lead. Oh, that's good. What lunch did you get there, Red Pele? Meanwhile, top 5. Yep, like I mentioned, second over second from each other. Little Mick, though, is losing touch. So the soft tires are really not working in his favor for the Alfa Romeo. I suspected it wasn't going to be the case. Out of turn 13, back onto Esplanade Boulevard. Ooh, that was a decent sink, a little bit lag. Yellows, that's Double A. He has spun at the Anderson Bridge, up to turn 13. He's tumbled down to 17th position. I wonder if there was help involved in that. Alright. Out of the final corner, back onto the main straightaway. We begin lap 24 of 31. Rebel sets the fastest lap. Axis now beats that with a 30.9. He needs to get past the Alfa Romeo. He has to get past him quickly if he wants any sort of chance for a race win. Remember, they had a little bit of a tango between himself and Blockman in the early portion of the race. Next, they're going to be close to one another. If he can get past the Alpha, into turn 7 we go. Axis now gets in front. He's up into 4th place. But he had to use a lot of battery to do that. It's now 1.7 seconds between Blockman and Axis. Ooh, butter chicken. That's really nice. That's very good. Alright. 5.5 tenths, 6 tenths between the top 2. They both have used equal. They both are on equal set of battery. Blockman though has the most out of this whole threesome. It's right now a battle between the 2 Alpines and a Williams, pretty much. All right, back onto the straight, heading up towards 16, 17. Pretty much crossing over where the old section of track used to be. Actually, you can see that bit of track still there, even if you go to Photoshop. Yellows, that is Double A. He is overshot turn 14. He's parked the car there, but he's going to try to... No, retires. That was AI control. I was going to say there, that was looking like AI control, but he retires on track. He's out of the race on lap 25. Alright. 7 tenths the margin between the top 2. As also James used up battery again. Rebel though has got some battery left in his back pocket, same with the other Alpine of Blockman. Yeah, well, the Williams is just trying to use everything he can just to keep up. He still will get DRS, just. Yeah, it's very hard to recover the battery around this place. Even with this new layout, it's still hard to recover it. Yeah, there's Axis not far away in that shot. He's at 2.9 seconds behind, 2.8 to be exact. Alright, back onto the straight. Stubbly overtakes Black Bowler. They're side by side, heading through turn 14. The McLaren will get in front up to 7th place. Next up, target room will be the Ferrari of Take Her Easy. through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Between these cars here, it's separated by just over 1.1 seconds. DRS still enabled for the Williams car. He'll close up just by another 1/10.5. But yeah, he is out of resources. Completely out of resources. Yeah, Blockman's just minding his own business, pretty much, there in P3. Waiting for anything to happen. Yeah, Axis, though, he doesn't seem like he can catch up to these cars. That's what happens when you lose touch of DRS. As JBH gets a 3-second penalty. And speaking of that, JM, I think, has nearly lost that. He has actually lost DRS touch to Rebel, as now Blotman will close up, but he's not close enough to attack. JM overshoots the corner a little bit, goes in way too hot. And now that's going to allow an opportunity for Blotman to use the battery. And I don't think there's not much the Williams can do about this. There goes Blotman. He's now up into second place, ahead of the Williams. Alright. Opens DRS. Jay will close back up. Not close enough, though, to attack. This time, no rear locking there from Blotman. As he makes his way out of turn 4. Turn 5 we go. Opens the DRS again is the Williams. He has no more resources in that back pocket of that Williams. All three of these cars are in minimal battery use, but Blotman still is the best out of these three. But Rebel right now is showing he's got really solid pace. Blackballer and Tom side by side. Contact and a spin for the Aston Martin driver. There was contact between him and Blackballer. Rejoins. Thank goodness the ghosting system kicked in. Coral gets through up into 10th position. Alright, 7.5 tenths. Fight's not quite over yet, I don't think, between these guys. JM just still needs to keep up as best he can. 6 tenths is the margin. He will get DRS. He should be able to. Yep, he does. Yeah, the DRS detection point is at the exit of this whole bus stop chicane. Out of the final corner, back onto the main straightaway. We'll begin lap 28 of 31. Axis runs extremely wide. Nearly does a Lance Stroll impression. I saw that in the background. Literally nearly put himself into the right side wall. Fortunately, though, he didn't do that. Alright, back onto the main straight. Tom overtakes Coral. They're all side by side, actually. What it looks like. We'll keep our eyes on these two. They have their side by side. Coral stays on the outside. Tom on the inside. Aston Martin stays in front, but Coral's not giving up here into turn 5. Now eventually gives up. That definitely compromises his run, too, because, yeah, he won't get the best run out of turn 5. Yep, and won't close up enough to attack him. Yeah, I think right now at this stage it looks like Rebels oh, and a big massive slide there from the Williams. Had a huge moment. I think Blotman nearly had a moment as well at the exit of turn 13. Fortunately for those two, they kept the car pointing in the right direction. Alright, on towards 16 and 17 we go. Williams not close enough. Alright, so now we reach the point where there will be no safety cars. Even if there's a crash, no safety cars will come out. Now on to lap 29. And again, Axis runs wide at the exit of the final corner. Man, it's really pushing hard, but there's nothing really much he can do in this sort of situation. Yeah, there's really not much Blotman can do in this situation either. He's not close enough to attack his teammate. It's nearly 2 seconds separating the two Alpines. But the battle for second I don't think is over just yet. So even though Blockman's still got a bit of battery, JM is still managing to keep up with the second Alpine. Out of turn 11, turn 12. Big slide there from the Williams. Catches it well. Heads up towards now turn 14. Hard on the brakes. Maybe a bit... sorry, maybe a bit too hot. Yeah, half second is the margin. Oh, a big slide there from man. I think that was a bit of an error. That's what it looked like to me, I think. Out of the far corner, back onto the main straightaway again. We now begin lap 30 of 31, the penultimate lap of the race. Can the Williams attack him here? To turn 4 we go, to turn 5. Back onto Raffles Boulevard. Blockman gets a really good exit. But again, JM not close enough. Suffolime is out of the race. He's crashed out at turns 16 and 17. He will be classified. He has met the 90% requirement. It looks like JBH is also going for fastest lap from what it looks like. I've also noticed he must have pitted for damage a little while ago when I wasn't looking. I just noticed how old his tire was. It's about 5 laps old. He also got battle between Blackball and Take Her Easy. And then Accord and Coral. That's for 11th place. Right now these two are fighting for the podium. The second podium position. These two are going to need to give it everything here. Blockman, he just needs to keep his head cool, not make a mistake. JM just needs to capitalize on anything. He does have the barrier, but he just needs to keep up. That's all he needs to do. We're on to the final lap of the race. Here at Singapore, lap of 31 of 31. Through turn 1, way too much curve there from the Williams. Way too much curve. Turns on the juice. Up towards now turn 5. Oh, that's a bit of a wiggle. He has DRS heading up towards now turn 7. Blockman using battery as well. JM not close enough to attack the Alpine there into turn 7. Heading up to turn 8. Turn 9 we go. But for this, it'll be next week. They'll be at Suzuka. Alright. Out of turn 10, 11 and 12 we go. Through the Anderson Bridge for the final time. Can JM get a good run here out of turn 13? He'll get DRS. Oh, but the spacing he has, he doesn't have enough to close up and make a move. I think that's it, pretty much. I think it's game over. But out in front though, Rebel. He's had a really good race from the Alpine driver. Kept it under control, kept his head cool, led for a majority of the race, will cross the line to take home the Singapore Grand Prix, and it's an Alpine 1-2 here at Singapore, with Blockman finishing in second, and JM will complete the podium in third. Axis will finish at fourth. Not bad recovery after what happened between him and Blockman. Lil Mick will finish in fifth. Stubley will finish in sixth position. Meanwhile, Take Her Easy will finish ahead of Black Bowler for 7th place. 8th place for Black Bowler, 9th for Professor Phil, 10th for Tom. And then last of the runners here, Roden. And Accords made a mistake. He's dropped to 13th, made a mistake at turns 16 and 17. Coral finished 11th, Roden 12th. And then Accord in 13th. And then finally we Motion God and JBH. We'll round it all off here in the running order. I'll answer that question in a second there, fella. But meanwhile, though, Rebel takes victory, and that will be, I believe, his second Grand Prix victory here for the America Open Series. Would be his third overall if you want to count. If you do want to count the sprint race he won at Spa. Would it be his third? No, second. It would be a second victory. Sorry, my bad. So it would be a second victory of the season for Rebel. And yeah, an Alpine 1-2, increasing their lead in the Constructors' Championship. And another swing in the championship as well, as Rebel now takes the lead of the championship. JM, not a bad effort, but yeah, just couldn't do anything more to try to fend off the Alpines. Did everything they could to fight Blockman, but yeah, it just wasn't enough. But Rebel, though, wins it here at Singapore. So I'm starting for second. Made the most out of everything. Did not put a foot wrong and won it here. Blockman finishing in second, followed by JM. Axis not a bad recovery. He does get the fastest lap, so he'll score that extra point. Well, Nick will finish in fifth, followed by Stubley, Take Her Easy, Flatball, Professor Phil, Tom, Coral, Roden, Accord, Motion God, JBH will complete the final point scoring spot. And Retirees, Subfaline, Double A, Sparty, Solid Harmony, and 55 cents. To answer your question, well, that's going to be dependent. I mean, the thing is that I said I would commentate tonight because I usually work on the weekends, especially Sundays. So, yeah, I took the opportunity to see if I could try tonight, and yeah, well, hopefully they'll enjoy it. Well, the problem is, Rebel, is that, I don't know how to share audio through Discord. I know that's a thing now with PS5. Alright, here, I'll try to see if I can do something real quick about that. If it could go into... Where would it be? I think what I'll try to do is I'll put my phone next to my mic and I'll see if that works. Alright, Rebel, if you want to join, there you are. Well, that didn't take very long. Hello, Rebel. Yeah, not bad. How about yourself? I bet you are sweaty. Well, do you think we can have Blockman come in here, or is he not willing to come in? He's coming? Alright. Oh, well, there you go. That'll be the first time I ever hear Blockman. I tried to get an interview with him last season, and he said he refused to. So, that's whatever. Yeah, that's quite evident. Hang on, just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna get my showroom up. But since you are here, we might as well get started with the interviews. So yeah, qualifying. Very interesting qualifying session. You qualified P2, but you had a bit of a weird shenanigans between yourself and Spari, but it didn't matter really because you guys still locked up the front row. Yeah. How was it for you overall? I mean, obviously I would think it was still fine either way for you because the safety cars didn't matter for you either way because although you were just in a really good position. Turn. Oh, it turned. Oh, turn 5. Yeah. Yeah, righto. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, no, it's a bit of a, it was a bit of a weird situation. It kind of reminded me of what happened between myself and Laquito back in Tier 1 last season, where I caught up to him and on a hot lap. But, do you think, you probably had a bit more time, I imagine, in you on that final run? Uh, yeah, no, I mean, you still got good quality overall from you two, locked out the front row. But yeah, was it pretty much the case of you guys wanted to go for opposite strats? Because obviously you started on the mediums, he started on the hard side, and he didn't really get the best of starts, and you started to pull away from him by the start of the race. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, yeah, it was very interesting what happened there, but it's either way though. You still pulled out a gap. It was you pulled out like, well, before there was like, I think there was an incident between himself and Axis at turn 13 because well, I noticed how they lost so many positions, and then next thing you know, your gap went from like 3 seconds to 5 seconds, and then yeah, the safety car came out and pretty much you looked like in cruise control from here and there. You just didn't seem like you had a front run after that. After like the two safety cars. Not yet, but yeah, right. But yeah, no, mm, yeah, no, that's the thing. I know with street circuits, they tend to yeah, they tend to have like quite a bit of rear traction zones, which is not a total surprise. But oh yeah. Right. Uh, no, it was quite evident you just didn't have a foot wrong. One more question to you for next week. Well, I know I won't ask more about for Tuesday because I mean we obviously know that, but I won't give out too much. But for next week at Suzuka, how do you think it'll fare around there? I honestly don't know how you do it. That's like the laps of like you do almost the distance of a Daytona 500 race, which is honestly crazy to me. Oh, okay. It just seems like you phrase it like that. It's okay though. Like, I just wanted to make sure. No, fair enough. Yeah. No, Yep, fair enough. Well, congratulations on your win, and yeah, well, I'll see you for Tuesday, and also good luck to you at Suzuka for next Sunday. Yeah, I was mentioning that a little bit in the stream. I was mentioning that, but hopefully we'll. Oh yeah, no, the. Mm, yeah, I get you, I get you, but we'll see how it goes for you on Tuesday. But yeah, congratulations though for today. All right, well, we'll move on to his teammate who's also in here, Blopman. Well, good to see that you're actually now willing to finally get into the interviews, even though I tried last season. But no. Oh, that's fair enough. Well, anyway, yeah, so you qualified on pole, respectively, about 3/10 to your teammate. Um, but yeah, like I said, you two went on to a different strat. You went on mediums, you went on to the hards. Um, but I bet you didn't really like the fact that that first safety car came out because obviously that did kind of screw your race. Well, it looked like it was going to screw your race for a little bit before the second one came out. Mhm. Yeah, no, that's pretty much what I was seeing from that. But yeah, but yeah, then the second one came out, and you were in a position to be in third place, but obviously you were quite a bit ways back from your teammate because obviously you were on the hards, old hards compared to him being on fresh hards. But yeah, pretty much. Like, do you think you could have like done a bit better than what happened, or how do you think it could have been overall for you there in that race? Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Um, but yeah. Obviously, we'll see how you go for Tuesday. But I'm just going focusing on just this series. Next week we head over to Suzuka. How do you think you'll fare around there? All right. Well, we'll see how it fares for you two, and obviously catch. We'll see how it goes on Tuesday for I guess all three of us. But congratulations on P2 though, Block man. Yeah. And yeah, I guess with that chat, it's time to end the stream. Thank you very much for watching. I have been K1997. Hopefully I'll try to get to do next Sunday. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, and thank you again for Sparry for allowing me to commentate tonight's race. If we do have a stream, we'll see you for round 6 of the championship at Suzuka International Racing Course for the Japanese Grand Prix. Take care and have a good night.